Hey YouTube, welcome to part 3 of the forge rebuild. In this episode I'll be building the pipe air duct, so let's get straight into it. I've got my long overdue refill for the argon bottle, so I'm ready to TIG weld again. Just recap on what's happening. This is the original part. It was broken at some time in the past and rather inexpertly brazed back together. Looking at it, I'm quite sure that the brazing contributed absolutely nothing to the structural integrity of the unit. When I attempted to remove it from the old forge pan, the remaining small piece of cast iron that was holding it together broke off. And that brings us up to the current point where I have to make a replacement air duct. I'm going to do it simply by welding these two pieces together like this, and then this piece on the end to give a bend up. And that'll replace that. I'm going to have to get something to make a sleeve out of to fit this piece in, because this is the blower unit for it. Made in Sydney by, I guess, a company called Rapid. No indication of when, but I would expect that that's probably the best part of 100 years old. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to get this ground off, get the zinc ground off the outside of this so I can TIG it, and then I'll start tacking it together. Alright, everything's ground up, ready to go. Get tack on that. Given the amount of that stuff there is, I think I'll be very shortly turning up the argon and putting on a fan to extract some of that. Nice little tack anyway. I'm pretty sure I'll get a decent weld on that. Those are my tacks are going on how long I can hold my breath for. A decent gap to fill there. A bit more juice on the argon, I'm just going to blow it away a little bit and reduce my stick out a little bit too. If I shelter the job from the worst of the fan, that should be alright. Just looking for areas where he might just not be airtight. It doesn't have to be critically airtight, I guess, but I don't want to waste too much of my energy blowing air out the side. Well, the welding's good enough. I'm just pretty awkward getting it around there. I'm finding I'm not real good at manoeuvring the torch head around. Oh, that's a hold your breath job. Yeah, it's nice inside. A lot of zinc rubbish. There's my replacement pipe. Now it's a bit longer underneath, comes out a little bit further because this one was a bit short for the 44-gallon drum, and it comes up a bit higher, but I can cut that off if I need to. I wanted to leave plenty here so that I can mount this blower where it was best fit. And now I've got to mount a tab on it to take this. I'll have to weld some sort of bracket on there, maybe a couple of bits of angle iron with a scoop out of them, just so that I can bolt it up underneath the frame. But I won't do that until I've got it put together a bit more. Next job is to weld the tab onto the bottom of the vertical pipe so that I can hinge the flap valve onto it. The next step was to test the hole in the bottom of the 44-gallon drum to make sure I had that the right size to fit the pipe, make sure that the pipe was the right length to go to the edge of the drum, and figure out some way of fastening the pipe into the drum. Now, the hole was a little bit small. That problem was easily solved with a small burr grinder. I found a piece of scrap sheet metal from another project, and since it was underneath and well hidden, it didn't need anything special at all. I just trimmed the long end off that and cut a hole in the centre of it so that I can drill 3 holes through it and bolt the assembly together once I've welded the plate onto the frame. You'll see what I mean shortly. I used the plasma cutter and burr grinder to get a nice neat hole in the piece of sheet metal that I was going to use for the flange. It fits around the pipe and I'll weld that face up. I get 3 holes filled in it for bolts. I tack the flange in place while the pipe is in the bottom of the drum, so I make sure everything is lined up properly. And then it was just a matter of taking it out and finishing the welding. Surprisingly, the welding was a lot more involved than I thought. It's rather deceptive just how much welding there is in a piece of circular pipe. It took a lot longer than I expected it to be. I've done some work off camera. I've drilled this piece here, taken this off the old one, and he'll bolt on there and swivel like that to let all the ash out, anything else that falls down there. I've drilled 3 holes in the plate to bolt it up onto the bottom of the drum. And I've cut this bracket that's going to bolt up onto the frame to support this end of it. He'll be welded on there like that and bolt up onto the frame. To position him, I'm going to put this together and tack him in place. Now pull it apart and weld him properly. And that's pretty much all I've done off camera. I'm going to position him off camera as well because there's a lot of mucking around in that. And then when I come back, I'll weld him. Right, I've got him measured out and marked up, sitting in position. Now the trick I want to do is to put the lightest tack I can on him, just to hold him where he is. Now there's a light tack, there's no doubt about that. I need to check this, it's all in the right spot. And he is, beautifully. I'll put the fan on again because we're going to be churning up some more zinc fumes, which I don't want to breathe in. The next thing to do is to drop these 3 holes through here, just so I can locate that, and then I'll be able to tip it up again and clamp this down onto the frame so I can get the holes through that. Now I think I can pretty much bolt that part of it together. And there we go, 3 holes done. Okay, I've decided to put 4 holes in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. These 2 bolts will fit just outside the curve of the drum. And these 2 will sit up inside, the heads will sit up inside under the lip. And that'll hold that nice and secure there. Bolts through there, 1, 2, 3 to hold the drum. Not that it needs it, but I'm going to put them on anyway. Remains to be done is to fit the blower on. Up here like this. So I need a sleeve to slip him on and some brackets so that he doesn't twist. He's actually quite heavy. Well, I'm going to cut that pipe down a little bit, I think, otherwise I've got too much weight out on the end. Might have to put some counterweight on the other end of it. That's way heavier than I sort of planned for. By the time I get the cement in that, I think there'll be plenty of weight in the drum that it won't tip. By the time it comes up a little bit on the casters, should be a reasonable height for me to work on. One of the drawbacks of being tall is that you've got to build everything a bit higher, otherwise you just get a sore back bending over to work on it. And in case no one realises it yet, I'm always one to use up scrap. So I got these offcuts that I cut off for the plasma or for another job. I'm going to use these for welding the bolts to, and what's going to happen is this will be on the other side. It's just sitting up this way to make it easy to see. I'm going to weld the bolt to this so that when I screw the nut on, no matter which way it turns, it will hit the piece of pipe sticking up through here in the middle. So the nut can't spin, I'll always be able to get the nut off. Being on the other side, this will all be covered by the refractory cement, or thermal cement, so I won't be able to get to it. So I need to make it somewhat secure so that I can make sure I can get the nuts off should I ever need to. And I won't have the dramas I had getting the parts off the old forge. Okay, I've got the bolt in place in one of them. I'm going to use a stick welder. Just have to put a bit of weld around the head of the bolt just to hold it. Right, got intact there. Yeah, it's got him well and truly welded. He's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere either. Okay, done. Those bolts aren't going anywhere. I've also got these pipe joiners, for want of a better word, that I can't think of. And with the thread on them, they're just a shade too big for this, so I have to stick them in the lathe and just take them down a bit so that they'll slip on there. And then I've got a weld something on here so that slips up sort of halfway there. The other half slips onto the blower, and then we bolt through to hold it together. Hey, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. There are plans on the website for the construction of the frame, however they don't include the pipe and ductwork for the air because A, I didn't intend to do that in the first place. It wasn't until I broke the existing one that I found I had to do it. And B, that piping is very dependent on the type of blower you have, so doing up plans is not a lot of value. I think you can get enough out of the video to enable you to make the duct work. If anyone does want plans, give me a yell. I'll see if I can put something together on the duct work that I did make. Don't forget to click like and subscribe for more. Until next time.